All right, guys, we got another boot camp winner here for this time. I wanted to look at the most improved backswing, especially the top of the backswing position, because it's something that so many people struggle with and they don't realize why, and they spend so much time fighting against themselves when really the fixes are shockingly simple. And when you just learn to use the dead drill to teach your body how to move correctly and stop swinging your arms all over the place and stop trying to position your arms, you're going to see a world of difference. And that's what I want to show you today. So we got James here on the left and right, and the left is his before swing. A couple little things that you'll notice posturally. We talked about setup a bit in the first session of the boot camps, and see how he's a little bit more rounded here in his upper back. This is one of those things you're like, oh yeah, is it really that big of a deal? Yes, it's a big deal. If it's, if it's talked about in the fundamentals of setup and things like that. I don't talk about those things just to hear myself talk. These little details are hugely important, and you don't typically realize how much they compound each other until you start seeing the swing as a whole. And so that's why I wanted to use some of these as teaching examples so that you can kind of learn from other people's mistakes that they make and how they correct them, and you see how things start to start to sort themselves out. Because once you get this little rounding in your back, and his is really mild, right? But this is just, again, how important the little details are, because I see tons of golfers whose shoulders are like this and super rounded. And then, of course, it leads to your arms being very disconnected from your body. Your arms take over the whole swing, and then you're worrying about something that really doesn't matter in your swing when you've got this big issue going on at setup. So this, when you're rounded like this, it really lowers your hands. It gets your shoulders disconnected from your core, and then your arms will tend to swing very freely. And that's what you're going to see in his swing, and this is why he gets really long and across the line at the top. So let me walk you up to the top of his swing. Set up typical things that you're going to see when somebody's starting to kind of have their arms a little disconnected from their turn is that the hands will tend to go a little bit to the outside, and that will force the club to go in. So you can see his club is on the inside of his hands here. It should be in line with his hands. This is just swinging the arms across the body a little bit and rotating the wrists too much, too soon, and that causes the club head to go inside. And again, a lot of this just started from setup because his arms were allowed to move so freely from his upper body because of how his posture was. So now as he gets to the top, you can see that's actually his club head way over here. It's across the line. It's very long. And so now we've got all of these compensations that we've got to try and make to get the swing to work out properly from here. And this is going to lead to a bunch of little different issues. So now let's take a look at where he is at the top of his swing now after boot camp. So now you'll see much better position going back. And as we get all the way to the top, that's his top of the swing now compared to where it was before. I mean, the club is literally 3 feet different. And right now his club's here, and here it was over here. So you can imagine that extra 3 feet of extra movement in the swing just makes it so difficult to get everything to sync back up. And that's why you'll see as he started down on the left, he's got to kind of fire his arms first just to get the arms back out in front of the body, because everything got ripped back in here so narrow and so tight and cramped, and now he's got width in his swing. And so now, and I'll put his testimonial of it up at the end because he says it perfectly. If you just focus on your body movements, swing plane and path and your position of your arms at the top and all of that stuff sorts itself out. I didn't try and say, hey, you're swinging way across the line over here and it's really long and you're overswinging, and we're going to fix that. I said, no, we're going to get your body moving correctly and teach you how to get your arms to cooperate with your body instead of having your arms be the star of the show. And this is your reward. And this looks like most tour pros at the top nowadays. And as he starts down, the arms are already so much more in front of the body. He doesn't have to do much work to get the club back down. This is a great squat to square position, right? One of the big moves in the dead drill learning system, the transition move, we talk about when the arm is just about parallel to the ground or slightly below it, your hips should be pretty much square while your shoulders are still shut. This is almost absolutely perfect. And then as he keeps coming down, really great delivery position here. He's posted up, maintained his tush line, great release. And heck, he looks like Justin Rose here now to me. It's a great swing, a great improvement at the top. And again, it's not about trying to get your arms to do something special. It's about getting your arms to do less and your body to do more of the work. I can't emphasize that enough. You've got to pay attention to the little details at setup and when the club starts moving independent of your body, because that is the clue as to when you're going to start struggling with your swing. So if you're struggling with ball flight and consistency and all those things, I can assure you your body is not doing what it needs to be doing.
Hi Chuck and Rotary Swing team, James Carroll here. Just wanted to say how fantastic the dead drill has been for me. As you can see in the before and after videos, how tight, narrow across the line I was. Just that idea of really simply doing the moves, and as a result it kind of looks after itself. Focus on the core inner moves, and then the swing plane and all the other stuff that I worried about for years just gets sorted. So thank you very much. Keep up the good work, and hopefully you like the results of my swings over the last few weeks. Bye bye.